What is perfectly legal, but creepy as hell? Hanging out in a public bathroom timing how long people pee. I swear to God, I did a lot of work in hospitals for a while. Big fucking hospitals with tons of bathrooms all over the place, for some goddamned reason. Regardless of what time or bathroom I selected to take a shit in, not 30 seconds after I sat down a janitor would knock on the door to clean the bathroom. It's not as if it was one janitor. Just some random janitor would inevitably need to clean whatever bathroom I was in as soon as I got comfy. It's like I was being stalked by the janitors. So now I'm trying to take a shit knowing full well there's somebody out there actively timing how long it takes. This just brought back a memory I tried to repress. I, too, work at a hospital. Of the time I was walking out of work but got hit with the danger rumbles on my way out and had to clench and run to the nearest public bathroom. It's the largest one, but I blessed my stars it was mostly empty. As I was absolutely destroying the toilet, a housekeeper lady came in and starts going stall to give them the good cleaning. I'm sitting there sweating as the cursed colon won't stop, listening to her come closer and closer to my stall. She gets to mine, sees it's locked, moves on. But then after she finished all the rest she just stood there, and waited, as I'm ruining this toilet and just want peace while I die of dysentery. And I didn't want to have to come out of that stall after 10 minutes of atomic bombing it and have to face this woman before she took one look inside the stall and probably started crying. Mind you, I am someone who normally will hold my shits in for hours to avoid pooping in a public bathroom. So this was my nightmare. 5 stars. A national newspaper having a countdown for when a child actress becomes legal for sex. Answers to questions that will surely come. Yes, The Sun, UK. Emma Watson. Using the urinal next to me when there were plenty of other choices. Technically, you can stand on the sidewalk and stare into someone's house through a window. It's not illegal as long as you stay off of their property. But it's really freaking creepy. When I was a child, we had a creepy, horrible neighbor that would harass my family constantly. One of the things he did was stand at the corner of his yard and videotape me playing in a pool with my friends. We were around 8. My parents called the police but were told that it's legal if he's on his property. Edit, this was in the US and 20 plus years ago, so laws might be different by now. I had a neighbor like this growing up. He never creeper on me or my brothers. But one time my dad saw him up on his roof, looking into the bathroom window of the house next door, presumably watching the 16-year-old girl in there. My dad put a huge blue tarp up against our shared fence, like 10 feet tall, and told the entire neighborhood why. The guy complained but couldn't do anything and eventually moved. Parents using their kids for money. Example, YouTube Kids channels. My favorite is when parents of autistic kids post shocking videos of their overwhelmed, distraught children having meltdowns under the guise of awareness. It's a bit horrific how little privacy kids get these days, especially when they're not aware of the full consequences that content can have for them. Saying, think of yourselves as sisters when introducing a much younger new wife to one's adult daughter. My father-in-law did this. WTF? No, Dad, I don't want to imagine you shagging my sister. Thank you very much. Parking across the street from an elementary school with binoculars, technically not illegal, but you definitely get the cops called on you and make the news. I work in commercial construction and we build a lot of schools. When we complete a project, part of my job is to take drone photos of the completed building. Typically by the time I get around to taking these drone photos, school has already started. So on several occasions, I look like I'm just some random guy standing out in the parking lot, taking drone photos of an elementary school during a normal school day. It's not a great look. I've encountered the cops a couple of times, but they've always been pretty cool about it. In some states, it's actually legal to take upskirt pictures with your smartphone, as long as they are wearing panties. Super creepy as hell. I only know this because a judge ruled a guy innocent for doing just that because of a law that was worded a certain way. No clue if the law has changed to include upskirt pics. I've worked in construction and built some Walmart shopping centers and distribution centers. Had a site manager on a job tell me that Walmart used to have a super specific level of shine they wanted on their floors when they were finished and opened up for public shopping. However, with the ever-increasing presence of cell phones and better cameras, they had to begin to dull the floors because people were able to just grab upskirts by taking pics of the floor under people. My dad is currently in an injury case against his old job. There's been a car outside his house filming him for the last couple months trying to catch him doing compromising things to disprove his injuries. That's very creepy. Nobody is saying you can't eat a banana, Terry, but you can't just stand on a street corner for 30 minutes and suck on it. You have to actually take a bite. I like bananas. I eat them a lot at work with lunch. In the military, I learned that when eating a banana, it's okay if you bring the banana to your face, not the other way around. Go ahead, try it. Bonus points if you make eye contact with someone while your mouth is slightly open with the banana headed for it. Never gets old. I believe the act of cannibalism itself is legal so long as you didn't murder anyone to do it. If your homie gives you his arm to gnaw on, it's fair game. Sitting next to someone at a public transport even when there are other seats available. Hanging your doll collection from the trees in your yard using string made from human hair. Paparazzi. There's a heartbreaking video of Paris Jackson trying to run from Paps asking invasive questions about her dad who'd passed away. The way she just cries out, "Please leave me alone," as they stick cameras in her face. Terrible. Trying to make your kid's social media famous. Dating a girl you adopted once she turns legal age and not in your care. Steven Tyler? Greater than in 1975, Tyler obtained guardianship of 16-year-old Julia Holcomb, so that she could live with him in Boston. 91, they dated and took drugs together for 3 years. He also got her pregnant later. Yikes. Facing the wrong way in an elevator. Sitting on a lake bed at night with a rebreather and no flashlight. I literally shuddered at the idea. Light is good. Light is lovely. Light is what stops the idiot fish from running into you, because apparently some of them just bonk around at night / in the dark and cause your soul to leave its earthly vessel in terror. I feel like you've had a few traumatic diving experiences. It's technically legal to check if a door is locked, as long as you don't enter without permission. Edit. Depending on where you live, this could apply to both houses and cars. Edit. You won't find any laws permitting this activity, but laws associated with it are generally based on circumstantial evidence or rely on proving the suspect's intent. An arrest may be likely, but proving intent is difficult, and charges might not stick. Results may vary in your precinct. Child beauty pageants. They're actually illegal in France since 2013 for age groups under 13, and 13 to 15-year-old pageant groups are regulated. Media outlets, typically disguising it with comedy, putting up _turns 18 on _countdowns for child actresses. Natalie Portman was 13 when she got a countdown on her local radio station. Fuck's sake, Mary-Kate and Ashley were like 4 on Full House when they got their countdown. The moment Emma Watson turned 18, someone laid on the floor and took a picture under his skirt. Like literally the moment she was 18 and went outside of her party. A guy printed it and asked her to sign it. This one hits close to home. A good friend of mine lives in a major East Coast city. As a single woman, she is extra cautious. She was the victim of a known local Instagram celebrity this weekend. Basically, this guy follows people, guys and girls, around and records them. When they get annoyed and tell him to stop, he gets more and more obnoxious, trying to get a reaction. He is careful not to cross the legal line for stalking, etc., and does it in public. So be expectation of privacy. He then posts the inevitable freak out online. I'm not going to share the page. My friend made the cut, because I don't want to grace this troll with the page views. I live in Baltimore and we had a guy doing that a couple years ago. He got charged after a bunch of complaints. Not sure what happened to him though. Pay loan companies. Memorizing the age of consent in every state or country. Child brides in some parts of the world. WTF is wrong with people? Thankfully it's not legal anymore, but where I'm from it was extremely popular to marry a girl as young as 10 or even younger. Usually the parents of the bride got property and money in exchange, basically selling their kid. It's just pure disgusting. Yeah, besides the obvious disgusting underage aspects of that, it also encourages poor people to grow kids to use as currency. It's legal in too many American states to sign your underage child off into a marriage. It happens today.